Hello, everyone, and welcome to another live stream. Today we're going to be talking about some of the projects that I've covered before on my channel and checking on whether or not they are still worth your time and investment. Today we're going to be looking at four projects that I've covered, and those are Ujamu, Cambria Cat, Genomes DAO, as well as Stable Dogs SDT. So we're going to get right to it. But first, I'm going to address the comments. Khalid Said, it's always a pleasure to have you on my channel. Zachary Dal, as well as Ellie. I'm sorry, my friend, but you are not the first this time. That position goes to Khalid. He's the one who gets the cookie. So let's get right to it and address the elephants in the room. Like I say, it's always important to check up on your investments, right? You want to make sure that you've made the right decision, and you want to make sure that the fundamentals, the reasons why you invested in a project, is still good. Is still solid. And I think it's very important that we address Ojamu, because Ojamu is one of the projects that I've called as a low cap gem, and I feel like I have that responsibility to talk about projects that I've kind of recommended or given praise to as a project that is good for investments. And yeah, we are getting more people. I'm going to quickly address these comments. From Girindar, I really appreciate you. I'm going to get you another friend from India. I have a lot of friends from India. I appreciate every single one of you. Super Lion, a very smart member of my patrons. Great to have you here. And Hus Alpha, one of the smart men that got into Chatter Shield from the video I made. Thanks for joining us, guys. I really hope everyone is having a great weekend. So, Ojamu is a very difficult situation for me to navigate because I went through the project again. And while I was going through Ojamu, I quickly realized why I like this project and why I spoke about it so highly, as recommending it as one of my favorite AI projects. Now, the main issue with Ojamu, the main problem that's is with Ojamu is the amount of updates that they have are very far and in between. Their most recent update was on June 16th, the Alfie Pro updates, but after that, their most recent news or their most recent community engagement was on the 3rd of July. That's over a month ago. With how quickly crypto moves, you would expect a more engaging and more active community. That's extremely important with crypto projects, and Ojamu has not really been doing well in that regards. July, 3rd of July, 28th of June. So their tweets are spaced about weeks, up to 7 to 10 days apart. And not only that, I checked their Telegram group as well, and the activity there too wasn't really encouraging. So where does that put Ojamu? How do I feel about Ojamu going long term? So let's take a quick look at the charts, right? Look at the market cap. I spoke about this project when it was around 900K in market cap. Currently, it's sitting at 30% lower. So minus negative 30%, and 95% in circulation. So $630,000 in market cap, 95% in circulation. It still has excellent tokenomics. The market cap isn't, the performance over the past 2 months or so isn't too good. And the idea of the project, I'm going to be a little bit controversial here. I'm going to say the idea of Ojamu is still good. So I'm not going to rush completely out of this project, but I will say I'm slightly discouraged. I'm slightly bearish with their engagement. I'm bearish with the activity on the side of the team with this project. But the reason why I'm not completely out of Ojamu in terms of whether or not it's a good investment is because they do have a working product. And that's something that is a big deal in crypto. If you're in the crypto space, you would know a lot of projects just run on fumes, they run on promises. But Ojamu isn't running on promises right now. They actually have a product that is out there. And the most recent one was about 2 months ago. The Alfie project. So we're going to take a look at the Alfie project. I've done my digging on it, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on this product because I've actually used it. But let's look at what the idea of Ojamu is generally: an intelligent Web3 solution using artificial intelligence. Ojamu uses several AI tools in order to allow for the adoption of Web2 companies in the Web3 space. Take, for example, Adidas or Nike. If they want to get started in crypto, Ojamu uses AI to intelligently source information that they need, marketing data. So, they quickly get the best contenders in the space, what they are doing, and then provide that information to Web2 companies. Adoption is extremely important in crypto, and it's why I'm bullish on projects like decentralized exchanges, like RVF. It's why I'm bullish on projects like Morpheus Labs, Morpheus Network. It's why I'm bullish on GLQ, projects that make um, it easy for people to transition from Web 2 to Web 3. It's also why I'm bullish on Altura. So Ojamu is taking that approach as well, but using artificial intelligence. And this is their most recent product, the B2C solution, the Alpha Finder. So what this does is it kind of takes inspiration from ChatGPT, but focuses mainly on crypto, right? So it helps you understand crypto and gives you the answers to questions that will help you find good projects. So that's why they call it Project Alpha, an Alpha Finder. Alpha in crypto means getting in the scoop early and making sure it's a good thing. So the idea of Ojamu is still excellent. I see the problem with Ojamu is good idea but bad execution. And what do I see for the long term with Ojamu? Well, long term, what I see with Ojamu is it's going to be a project that is relying mainly on the AI narrative. Because when that narrative comes again, when it kicks off, it's going to be very good for Ojamu due to the fact that their idea is very good and they have a working product. However, I'm currently not too encouraged. So for right now, the price isn't too good. That could be a good entry opportunity. But in the long term, you would have to be investing on more than just the facts of this project. You would also have to be investing on the chance that the AI narrative does very well. So the most recent updates 2 months ago, not so good. They are only active when the crypto markets, take for example, look at this embarrassing tweet here. The crypto market is bouncing back. Now's the perfect moment to jump in. Alfie is your ultimate sidekick. So yeah, it's not really a good thing to see a project making tweets only when the market is active or when the market is bullish. You want to see them building and developing in the bear market and in the bull market. So I'm not too bullish on that idea that Ojamu has, but I am glad with the fact that they have a working product. And now let's take a look at what this project this Alfie Finder is all about. So Alfie is practically ChatGPT, but just for crypto. Is it a novel idea? Not really. And I did an interesting experiment, and I'm going to show you the results in a bit, right? Alfie was released about close to 2 months ago, a leading AI chatbot focusing on blockchain and crypto technology and the most exciting verticals in the industry. Yeah, they use proprietary AI training tools in order to bring out the most impactful alpha to help users in their research and decision making. I could see this being adopted. I can see this as being a very interesting concept. Now, whether or not it works is another question. And so I decided to test the bot myself. And I asked it some questions. I asked it, okay, what are ZK rollups? And it gave me this response, right? It was an interesting response and it checks out for the most part. And I decided to test it a bit further. I asked it, I said, what are some of the best examples right now that could do well in the bull run? And it kind of went off track a bit. It said, based on the latest information, some of the top performing cryptos that could do well in the bull run includes Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, XRP, and all that. So I quickly noticed something like um, the first thing I realized with this product is not as quick because I tested this. I asked the exact same questions to ChatGPT to see how well this these products would stand against the competition, right? That's also extremely important. I asked it, and ChatGPT, the first thing I noticed is ChatGPT gave me a much faster response. Like with Ojamu, the response took about a minute to produce a detailed answer, but ChatGPT gave me that quick, like in less than 2 seconds. So it could be that ChatGPT's got more data to run with. And how good is the answer? Well, if you compare it with the answer from Ojamu, ChatGPT has a more detailed answer, a longer and clearer answer. So they've got a product, but not an excellent product. And I always say, pay attention to products that don't just exist on the blockchain for the sake of existing. They have to be better. They have to be not just, oh, we are on the blockchain, so use us. No, it has to be something that is better than the Web2 space, right? So Ojamo has an interesting idea, but they are not just up there yet with a giant. So I might be a bit unfair comparing it to ChatGPT. But so I also asked it, like I said, give me some examples of projects that could do well in the bull run. And ChatGPT also gave a quicker and more detailed response. So yeah, that's what I'm going to say in regards to that. Ojamu is still a very interesting project. They've got a product, but they have very far and in between tweets. Did I just say tweets? And community engagements. That's not a good thing to say. So I'm bearish on Ojamu, but I'm not going to say it's a bad project. It's an excellent idea. Good products out there, just not good execution. So yeah, proceed with caution. You could decide to scale out a bit, or you could decide to, if you aren't in the project, you could decide to hold some, banking on the fact that the AI narrative could be very big in the next bull run. And speaking of AI narrative, the next project is the Cambria Cat. Now, this is a project, just right off the bat, I'm going to say I have no problem with this project. It's still good. They have good updates, good engagements with the community, and it's able to leverage on more than one narrative. It can take advantage of decentralized science, and it can take advantage of AI and stuff like that. So Cambria Cat is a very interesting project. It's highly undervalued in my opinion. $3.2 million in market cap and 35% in circulation. Now, this project is within a narrative that is a bit boring, but if you think about it, even Mark, did I just say Mark Zuckerberg? Vitalik Buterin was talking about the importance of decentralized science a while ago. So decentralized science might not have a lot of hype, but is a very important narrative in my opinion. And projects that are focusing on building and creating solutions to problems, I think they will do well. And that's what Cambria Cats is all about. So if you take a look at Cambria Cats, it's showing that it's got its peaks, it's got its trials. It's not really too exciting right now, but I'm bullish on the idea of the project, and there are several other reasons why I'm still bullish on Cambria Cats. The fact that they've got this DAO system that is run with the Cambria Cats token. Many projects are willing to launch with the Cambria Cats, and they've got several educational platforms. So they've got the idea, they've got the activity, they've got the tokenomics, and they've got good updates. Like you can see here, projects are there are more updates, and projects are actually trying to launch using the Cambria Cats platform. So I'm still bullish on it. That's a quick update on Cambria Cats. The next project is also within the decentralized science narrative, and that's Genome's DAO Gene. Now, this is a project that doesn't have the best tokenomics in the list of projects today, but considering the market cap of $1 million, yeah, I think it could still do very well. It's got 27% in circulation, so not the best tokenomics, but a very low market cap. So if these projects were to 2x now and they release another 27 million, no, 270 million tokens, the value of your investment is just more of a 50% gain and not really a 2x. So that's the worry with inflation. But the idea of Genomes DAO is still solid. And if you check their Twitter activity, you would see is not only that this project has a working product, it's not only that they have a good idea, but people are actually using these projects. There's a user here right now that is ordering his own DNA sequencing tool using Genomes DAO. And while you have the problem of your data being leaked or being maltreated or misused in the Web2 space, with with Genomes DAO, you have better control, more ownership, and you also have the earning potential. So I'm very bullish on the idea, and you want to see a project being adopted, right? You don't just want to marry a project because you like the idea. You also like to see that there's a thirst for it. Like, people are happy to use it. People are eager to use the project. So yeah, I think that's very important with Genomes now, and people are seeing this project and seeing the importance, seeing the relevance, and they're actually going to keep adopting. Now, this is the article I was talking about. Vitalik Buterin actually is talking about decentralized science and its importance. Genomes DAO is a very good example of that, and one of the best examples, one of the best use cases, solving a Web2 problem using the blockchain. And you would see for organizations, the kinds of bodies that would use it, the peoples and organizations that will use Genomes DAO, patient organizations, population sequencing initiatives, healthcare providers, governments, biobanks, and so on, all while maintaining your anonymity and giving you the earning potential. So yeah, it's an interesting project. It's got a working product, and people are actually interested in it, earning money from your DNA, contributing to scientific research while remaining anonymous and maintaining full control. So yeah, I'm still bullish on Genomes DAO. I've not spoken about it recently in my most recent videos because I'm still doing much more research on new alphas and new low caps, but I'm still bullish on it, and I believe it's got a lot of long-term potential. And the fourth project is StableDocs SDT. Now, this is also a decentralized science project. I'm still bullish on that narrative, you know, and it's a very good example of it. It's solving problems that exist, especially in third world and developing countries. And you know, one thing I would say you should always do is look out for projects that have a working product, because that would show you just how well these projects can get adopted. So StableDocs has a working product, and they are regularly updating their platform and making sure that people are interested and engaging. 13% APY for staking is very good to see. And they've got doctors signing up, they've got regulatory compliance. So I checked up on this project, and here are the results. It's still a good one. You really shouldn't worry too much. Well, I'm not a financial advisor, but I will say it's still a good project in my opinion. The team is actively developing, they're actively engaging with the community, and they're showing people how useful decentralized science and medical healthcare can be enhanced using blockchain technology. So yeah, I'm still bullish on StableDocs, especially considering its low market cap of just $375,000. Now, this is one of the examples of inflation I was telling you about. At 400K, um, at 50% at a much higher price, right? This project had about 50% in circulation. So the 3% that has been added kind of like drops the market cap because of inflation. So that's just an example. Like, it's difficult to visualize it now, but it's something that I myself and several of the gem hunters talk about. Like, tokenomics are extremely important, but the tokenomics are actually very good, especially for a low cap project. So 53% in circulation, especially for a micro cap, $375,000 in market cap, is not bad at all. It's actually pretty decent for this project. So yeah, those are the 4 projects that I'm doing an update on. Today's video was mainly about decentralized science projects and Ojamu. Ojamu is the elephant in the room. It's got a very good idea, interesting projects, useful products, but very poor execution. No good amounts of updates from the team. I still think it's worth holding some because of the fact that they have a product, but I'm bearish on the way the team is handling the projects. Their tweets and engagements are far and in between, but they do have very good products, especially considering how AI is hyped within the crypto space. So yeah, there are better opportunities with Ojamu, to be honest, right? So you could just be smart about it. Know that you are taking a high risk with Ojamu, and yeah, I still think there are better options out there, but it's just not too much of a good execution right now. So I'm going to go through the comments. This is meant to be a short live stream just to update you guys and let you know that I don't talk about projects and abandon them, right? So I'm going to go through the comments and I'm going to give you my gem of the week. So yeah, Horse Alpha and my friend from India. I'm happy. You know, I've met a lot of amazing people from India. Much love, all the way from Africa. Horse Alpha, I really appreciate you. And Gar, Garunosh, I'm going to assume you're from Poland, my friend. Thanks for coming here. Please help me, good man, on Doge. Okay, you're asking for donations. Okay, I'm going to skip that. SSM talk about Octa, ATOR cryptos that only know all-time highs every day in the bear market. Yeah, Octa OCTA is the first project I'm going to review. And what I will say about Octa is, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Is it Octa or Octa? Octa Space. I'm going to say Octa Space. So what I'm going to say about Octa is an excellent project. Is the is one of the projects that I covered in my videos for altcoins that I believe will do very well in the month of August. So yeah, if you've watched that video, um projects that I'm bullish on this August, you would be up at least 25% by now. And I didn't just say it for the sake of saying it. I actually looked into this project and it's very interesting, right? It's got its own blockchain, it's got its own layer one, and what they are doing, their approach to it is actually very important as well, because it's a decentralized cloud computing um project that allows you to lend computational resources or borrow it using blockchain. And it's got more than that. It's got several options with GPUs, with CPUs. It's also got a security and privacy focus, allowing you to browse. If you've been following my channel, I'm bullish on projects like the Mask browser, environmentally friendly, decentralized cloud storage. So for those of you who are still watching, let me give you a secret. If you want to make money in crypto, if you would like to make a lot of cash, like the way Casper is pumping right now, you need to get in on layer ones, new layer ones, not just the old ones, right? Low caps and micro caps are the best way to make a lot of money in crypto. So you can see Casper pumping right now. Even though you look at it and you're like, they don't even have smart contracts. There are better projects out there like Tezos, like Litecoin. You begin to wonder, why is Casper pumping instead of my favorite mid cap layer one? Well, the crypto space hungers for new narratives, for fresh ideas and stuff like that. Octa, I'm seeing Octa as an example of that. I really believe Octa could do very well as a result of this. So Octa has an interesting idea. Is a layer one, a new layer one, and right now it's very difficult to get it. So it also has that potential for a pump, right? If you look at it, you can find it only on CoinX, TXBit. So you'd like to get these projects before they go on into more accessible exchanges, right? And you put in the work, get it early. Maybe you can try RVF if they've integrated this layer one onto their exchange and the like. So yeah, I think this project has a lot of potential. It's interesting. I took a look at their website. The team is actually doxed and you know solving several problems using blockchain technology, and I think that's bullish for it. It's got several, this mesh idea, several points, so it's not just one centralized point of attack and so on. Okta is definitely an interesting one. I'm bullish on it for the long term. So yeah, the NP, I hope you enjoyed that short review. Okay, thoughts on Elify? Well, today is a recap day. I called Elify a long time ago, and I is one of the RWA projects that I talk about on my channel. Even though I've not spoken about RWA that much, I talk about SMT more now. But the idea with Elify is approach with. Hold on, let me bring up the charts. Approach to real world assets is very unique, and yeah, I'm still bullish on that idea. 50% in circulation and $797,000 in market cap. So let me just bring it out. The main issue I've had with Elify is the fact that the team isn't open, like the team isn't dogs, right? So you just have to trust that, okay, there's a mind behind it that is still good. But I've confirmed that the team is still engaging and they are still active, especially given if the team is, if the team isn't doxed, you want to make sure that it's not just a project that's a one-time hit. They just made it and decided to disappear. So I've confirmed that the team is actually still developing and updating. You can see that from constant updates to their website, to their Twitter, as well as their Telegram group. Now, I really like Elify. Its approach to real-world asset narrative is that it collateralizes landed properties and tokenizes it on the blockchain. So lenders all over the world, lenders all over the world have access to this, and borrowers can use their collateralized properties to earn interest from lenders all over the world. So someone like me from the Republic of Guinea, who would normally not have access to properties in the United States or in South Korea, can decide to own those properties using the tokenized version of the collateralized properties, and then the owners of the property will borrow that and I would earn interest from it. So yeah, interesting concept, good tokenomics, very complicated but a very good one. Yeah, I'm so glad that I'm just seeing this image right now. It's a very simple diagram that is explaining how they operate. So yeah, this is a good visualization of the idea. The supply crypto tokenize the property with reward assets, and then lenders and borrowers can interact with one another using the blockchain, meaning there's no border. It's peer-to-peer and completely community driven, right? There's no need for a third party. So where am I still bullish on Elify? 100% yes. It's a good project, good idea, good tokenomics. So yeah, thanks for joining me, Leo Han Buko. I really appreciate you for joining me in today's live stream. Sir Adams, thank you. Yes, Sangi, I appreciate you for watching today's video. Space chain. I covered space chain in my last review, and the thing I said about space chain. Hold on, let me bring that up real quick. My thoughts on space chain is that it's a little bit too what's the word, quirky, right? It's a very interesting project, and I like its approach to problems using the blockchain. So combining blockchain with satellite technology gives you a level of security that is just insane. It's literally out of this world. I like that. Okay, so it gives you a security that is out of this world, right? So the thing with space chain is that not so many people are demanding it right now because there might not be a big need, but that's what people said about electric vehicles, right? So if you're investing in space chain, you just have to know that you're investing in an idea that is very novel, is very niched, and not many people know about it, but it could kick off and they would have a good first mover advantage. Now, like many other projects that I'm bullish on, you would see that space chain has this has made several milestones. They've achieved several milestones. They've launched on international space stations and stuff like that. So quite impressive for a low cap project. And you could hold some space chain and hope that is nature or the idea just kicks off with the community and it goes really big. Sniffle123, I appreciate you. Arigato gozaimasu. I love your channel. What are your thoughts on Dion protocol? Do you DCA on dips? Okay, so Dion is one of the projects that I've gotten a lot of requests to cover, right? But I've not covered it on my channel. The first time I was asked to cover Dion was about 2 months ago. And I only cover projects, I don't like to be negative, so I only cover projects I'm bullish on, projects that I would personally invest in. So while I think Dion is an okay idea, is an interesting project, I personally wouldn't put my own money into it. And that's the reason why I've not covered it on my channel. Now, why do you say so? I'm not hating on Dion. I like it, I like what they're aiming to do. They have a very strong focus on environmentalism, right? But I've not gotten my favorite environmental project is Energy Web Token, even though it's old. And I also like Broccoli, even though it hasn't been doing so well recently. But the reason why I kind of move with caution around Dion is it says that it's going to encourage environmentalism using the blockchain, but their approach to it is a bit weird in my opinion. The reason why is because they are encouraging people to use solar panels that they provide to mine the project, to run the blockchain and stuff like that. So its approach is more of like that of a company, right? Not using the blockchain technology itself. And it was a bit um his approach to it wasn't really convincing to me, and I don't invest in projects I don't understand. So I think it's important to be able to understand the projects you invest in. So maybe I'm not smart enough, or maybe I'm not educated enough to understand how Dion works. I'll be happy for anyone to send me a DM on my Telegram or on my public Telegram group, the reason why you are bullish on Dion, but I don't really understand it. I don't understand how they aim to make sure everything about Dion is green if they are encouraging people to use green solutions. Like, it's not inherent into it that everything about Dion is going to be green. So the idea that they are selling, there's no way to 100% guarantee that it works, but it's a good idea nonetheless. So it could do well, and I just personally, no, I'm not a big fan of it. So I'm not saying it's a bad project, just not a big fan. Next comment. Please review Beam Swap Glints in an upcoming video. Yeah, sure. I'm going to look into this project and see whether or not it's something I'll be happy to invest in. If you could invest $5,000 on Altura or Quant, only one, which would you choose? Okay, very interesting question. Let me take a look at it. Let me First of all, I like to say, why not both, right? I really hate it when people drive me into a corner and say, pick one. But it's an interesting question, nonetheless. So Altura has the better opportunity, low market cap buyers. Altura has a much higher potential for returns than Quant, right? $28 million in market cap, and over 72% in circulation. But Quant is nothing to be laughed at. Is within the top 50 projects for a reason. Quant is solving a lot of problems, and recently with the Bank of England, they partnered with Quant to provide banking solutions. So that regulatory compliance is also very important. So what I would say to that, right, to answer your question, let me bring up Quant. It's more deflationary than is it has lower circulating supply than Bitcoin, $1.2 billion in market cap. So what I would say, 81% in circulation. You can't really go wrong if you invest in either of them. But if I had to pick, and you say just pick one, I would pick Altura. The reason why is we've seen what Quant can do. Quant has had a very good run, and it could go higher. But we've not really seen what Altura can do yet. We got a good idea of its potential, but we haven't seen how far it will go, especially in the next bull run. I think Altura can go much higher. It's got this adoption that I was talking about in the beginning of the live stream. There are more people that are going to use it, more developers, It's a Unity verified solution. So I'm super bullish on Altura. I'm also bullish on Quant. Have no doubt about that. But if I were to pick just one, I'm going to take more risk, and go with Altura because I believe you can make a lot more gains with Altura than Quant at this point. It's a really good project that allows people to develop games interoperability. Both of them have interoperability, but the gaming nature of the crypto, the metaverse, and all that, I just think Altura is a much better opportunity for higher returns than Quant, in my opinion. So yeah, that's what I'll say. Thank you, Leojan. I appreciate you. Thanks for joining me. Thoughts on Layer AI? Okay, so I'm going to go through Layer AI and Rejuve. Dovo and carbon credits with 2CAR brands, Hyuda and other. I say feature on Dovo projects as it's okay. Dovo, I think I've covered that only once. I think it's also a new layer one blockchain or so. I can't get into that right now, but I'm going to just address these comments and then I'll wrap up the live stream. So Rejuve is a project that recently launched and is within the Singularity Net ecosystem. So yeah, that means this is a project that is focused on artificial intelligence. So I'm still bullish on artificial intelligence. The world is quickly waking up to how much um, artificial intelligence can solve problems, make it more efficient and all that. So Rejuve's approach using artificial intelligence is it encourages living a healthier lifestyle by when you submit your data on the blockchain, you have that's a good thing. It's not on any Web3 Web2 app where it can be leaked or security concerns. So it uses its AI to determine the kind of maybe the exercises you should do, get your steps in and stuff like that. So Rejuve then rewards you for providing that data using its native token, and you can unlock more perks with the token. So there's good utility, good incentive to buy and use the tokens. I like the idea of Rejuve, and it's good, especially considering how AI can move quickly with the space. So it's also within this move to earn narrative more or less because I think it encourages good participation and stuff like that. So let me take a quick look. The main issue with it is if you are going to get into a project like Rejuve, the best approach is to get in on the pre-sale because look here right now, only 8% in circulation. So the tokenomics are not the best, right? But at a market cap of $2 million, you could think, okay, now what's my target for this project? Could it reach 100 million? That's about 50x from this point. So if you get a 50x and then 70% of the tokens gets released, you know, that's like what you've got 70% of 50x taken away from you. So you've not really made a 50x. That's assuming the value is going up and you're not selling. So you need to be careful with all of those kind of things. What my best approach to projects like this, excellent idea, right? And is within a narrative that could do very, very well, but you should maximize your gains by participating in pre-sales and then getting your initial from the initial amount that is vested out to you. Maybe once the project launches, like with Hypercycle, Hypercycle did about a 30x from launch. So if you receive 10% and the project does a 30x, you can easily take out your initial and then whatever the 90% that is left becomes a moon bag and you just wait for it to keep doing well. So yeah, I like Rejuve. I like the idea, but buying it right now, I think it would have been much smarter for a lot of people to get in with the pre-sale. Now, if you are looking for pre-sale opportunities, I'm going to cover some good options out there. There are some like CDFI and Singularity DAO that gives value to those projects, but they are not so good, right? So I'm researching more and I'm going to be discussing them, especially with my patrons. But I'm going to also make videos on them on how you can get in on these projects early and the approaches you can make to quickly secure your initial investments, right? So yeah, that's a good segue for me to get into my patrons. For those of you who don't know, I do have a Patreon service. I do a lot of portfolio reviews. I don't talk about it much as I used to do before because I really like how tightly knit the community is right now, but there are some spaces left. So if you'd like to, especially within the inner circle, right, the VIP, there's not really much of a cap on that. But yeah, we do have an interesting and active community that is growing. If you'd like to join that, then consider joining my Patreon. Links in the description, right? So I'm going to go over to my gem of the week and then call it a day. And that's Chatter Shield. Now, Chatter Shield is up 34% right now. And that's impressive. You know, it's a micro cap, $541,000 in market cap, but I'm super bullish on it. If you had been following me on my channel, just from my channel, and not even in the Patreon, you would have gotten in on this project at $170,000 in market cap. So 170,000 from this point to this point right here is close to a 3x, right? So that's very good gains, very good returns. Those are the kinds of things that my patrons are getting. And guys, you have absolutely no idea the amount of research I'm doing right now for the patrons, for them to make maximal gain. I'm refining my research, I'm doing a lot more, and just to get them in early on some great projects and make that gain as quickly as possible with the best of my efforts. So Chattershield is my pick of the week. And where do I see this project going? I can see it's going much higher than this. The reason why is the Telegram bot narrative. That's something I covered early on. Don't be a hater, right? Don't try to overanalyze some things. Because I got some interesting comments in my DM saying Telegram bot isn't really a narrative. And it's quite sad, really. You let your pride get in the way of you making some good returns from an intelligent idea just because you didn't get in on it. It's not too late to scan and assess the market and know where you can make some money. The Telegram bot narrative is a narrative for a reason. In just the past few days or so, in the past few months, they are always generating a lot of volume. I've used several of these bots myself, and if you understand crypto, maybe you don't understand crypto as well as I do, you will just know how important Telegram is to crypto. A lot of projects do stealth launches there. A lot of projects get community engagement and all of that. Telegram as well as Twitter. Twitter is just like the hotbed for crypto conversation. Now, Chattershield is taking advantage of these two social media platforms using Telegram bots to encourage engagement on Twitter. It's like a win-win in my opinion. So it was an easy buy for me. I saw that they had the working products. It wasn't just all talk, and the team is actually updating it. They recently released version 1.9 where where retweets are added as part of the community engagement that they encourage. So yeah, and they've got very interesting bond mechanisms. So what I would say to that is don't hate, calm down, do some research, and understand that there are a lot of opportunities to make money in the crypto space. The Telegram bot narrative is indeed a narrative. It has been available for months. If you hadn't known about it, well, I'm telling you about it now. There are several working products. There are other projects that very high risk, high reward that I didn't talk about because I wouldn't want to put people at risk, but I did make a lot of gains from them. And is if you are smart about it, you can make a lot of good returns from Telegram bots, depending on how early you can get into them and whether or not they are good. So what I would say is Chatter Shield is a very good example of it. They have a working product, and the product is being used by projects that have market cap of over 20 million. This is a project that the market cap is 500K, but a $20 million project is using it. Just to give you an idea of selling a shovel in a gold rush. So Chatter Shield has a working product, and a lot of people are actually using it. Over 13 products right now. They've got interesting bond mechanisms, so much going for this project, and they're still releasing updates and announcements. So I'm seeing, as the crypto space grows, Twitter, Telegram, the Telegram spaces are going to grow with a lot of projects, and a product like this will be useful to a lot of projects. So yeah, an easy pick for me for my gem of the week. If you would like to get in early on that, if you would like to get in on other projects I'm actually doing intense research on, then I do have a Patreon, links down in the description. So that's my gem of the week, guys. Thank you so much for joining me in today's live stream. I appreciate you, Ellie. I really appreciate every single one of you. Be sure to enjoy your weekend. Fresh body, fresh mind. Don't look at the charts all the time. It's always good to do other things outside crypto. So call your mom, call your friends, call your siblings, watch some anime, and I hope to see you next time, guys. Stay safe and take care. Bye bye.